In this video, I'm going to be turning you from being a ChatGPT beginner to being a pro by giving you a 5-step prompt framework. And then at the end, I'm going to be giving you 3 prompts that you can use to release the genius out of ChatGPT. Let's step into the video.
So hi, my name is Sandra. Welcome to my channel. On this channel, I share everything I learn and build with AI. Let's go.
Okay, so you're probably frustrated with some of the responses you get out of ChatGPT. But the problem is not what you're asking it, it's more what you're not telling it. So a prompt is different from what we would do in Google. So ChatGPT is not a glorified Google. With ChatGPT, we use a prompt, which is like the text instruction or a text conversation that we have with the tool, to give it something so that it can output the correct thing that we're looking for. So in this video, we're going to be looking at the 5-step framework for prompting. Now, just quickly, these 5 steps are a task. You need to give ChatGPT the task, what it is that you want it to do. You need to give it the context. You need to give it some references or some examples. You need to review the output that you get out of ChatGPT. And then you also need to iterate, which means you need to keep prompting it and asking further questions. So I think in everyday conversation, if you consider, say, for example, you're talking with your colleague at work, if you ask them, how do I put this in writing, or help me write this email to our project manager, they are more likely to give you the correct answer because they know the context. They know what project you're working on. They know what level of the project you're on. They even know sometimes what sort of reporting is required, so they can help you more because they know the context. And that's the most important thing when you're prompting ChatGPT, is to give it the context where you're coming from. So I'm just going to be giving you a few examples of a bad prompt or a prompt that's likely to fail, and a good prompt, so that you get a clear picture on what works and what doesn't. So what we're going to do is we are going to compare 2 of the same prompts, a very general basic prompt and then a more detailed contextualized prompt. And then we're going to use the same 2 prompts in ChatGPT and in Manus AI, just so that we're using the 2 different tools to see what sort of outputs we get. Now, Manus AI is a general AI agent that turns your thoughts into actions, and it was developed by a startup company in Singapore. What I like about this AI agent is that it actually takes you through the steps as it's thinking about the output to give you. You can see the different steps it's taken to generate the output. So we've given it the general prompt of give me some business ideas, and we can see that it's generated a very long list. It actually gives you a very good report. It's generated a good report that just gives you very generalized business ideas. Now, if we turn around and give it a very specific prompt, we'll see that it will give us very specific outputs, which is more or less to what you would need. This is why it's important when you're prompting to really give the context, to give the AI a task that you want it done and how you want that output to be shown or to be delivered, like what we are seeing here. And then we did the same thing in ChatGPT. And then now we'll just compare the final results we got after we gave both large language models, after we gave them the contextualized prompt. This was the final result. By the way, if you're finding this useful, please hit the subscribe button. I drop videos every week on this channel, and it means a lot to me if you can leave me a comment on what you liked about the video. That means a lot. Thank you. Now for this next example, we're just going to be using ChatGPT, and what we're going to be asking ChatGPT is we're going to be giving it a very general prompt, like write an email to my boss asking for an extension on the project. And then another one prompt, which is more detailed, would be you're a project manager writing to a direct supervisor, Sarah. You have a friendly but professional relationship. I need to ask for a 2-day extension for the Q3 marketing report, which is due this Friday. We are late because the analytics team gave us the final data 24 hours behind schedule. Write a short professional email that takes responsibility but clearly explains the situation. I want the tone to be confident, not apologetic, keeping it under 150 words. And so what we see there is ChatGPT with that very generalized prompt will just come up with a basic email. I hope this message finds you well. I'm writing to request an extension. So it just frames it in a very basic way, and it's not even the way that you would probably talk or send an email. But the second prompt, which is more specific, will give us definitely a better result. What do you think about the two? Is this something you would use? Are you using emails? Are you using ChatGPT to help you draft emails? If you are, then maybe this will be handy. So what happens is, if you just give ChatGPT a prompt like write me an email, it just gives you something very generic, something very boring. And so now, the 3 prompts that you need to release the genius out of ChatGPT. I got these 3 from Sabrina Romanov. She's on TikTok, on YouTube. I'll leave the links to her socials below. But she gives these 3-step prompts that you can use after you've done the initial prompt. You can use these 3 just to get more out of ChatGPT. The first one is, ask me clarifying questions until you're 95% confident you can complete the task successfully. So once you do that, ChatGPT will continue to ask you questions until it's confident that it can actually give you the correct output. The second one is, what would a top 0.1% person in this field think of the output you've given? So this just makes ChatGPT go back and look at what some of the gurus or some of the top people in your field would say about the feedback or the output that ChatGPT has given you. The third one is, reframe this in a way that changes how I see the problem. You can also replace the term changes with challenges if you want a bit more spice to the output that you get. So give these a try, because I've been seeing videos lately where people are just saying, ChatGPT just agrees with what I've said. Like every time it just responds, the responses it gives you are like, oh, that's a really good idea. Oh my God, that's such a nice way of looking at this issue. So try these 3 prompts and see the changes that you get to the output from ChatGPT. So I think as these AI tools evolve, we need to get smarter at knowing how to use them, because then we can get the most out of the AI tools. We need to start giving it a task and also even using a role. So for example, we could say, write this as an experienced social media manager. And then so we need to also give it a context so that it understands the environment in which we are operating on. We need to give it references or examples, and any output that we get from ChatGPT needs to be reviewed so that we're giving it that human look to see whether it makes sense. And then the other thing that we need to do is iterate. We need to keep getting in and prompting it further to give us the right output. Thanks for watching. If this video changed the way that you think about using ChatGPT, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives like this. Now, I'll give these prompts a try and see how you go. Use a prompt you've used before and add some of these suggestions that I've given in this video. And I bet you'll start to use ChatGPT in a different way. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.